we are Group9, and we have show drama to show you before our presentation. Here is a businessman who looks for a location to produce his product, and he has two markets to choose. Vicky represents emerging market, and Nara represents non-emerging market, and let's start.
Could you introduce the advantage of emerging market?
I have low rate labor and natural resources.
What is your point of view for this cooperative case?
Emerging market has various challenges and risks, such as political instability or weak intellectual property protection.
After this discussion, I think the advantage of emerging market means the need of cooperative case. Furthermore, I have some strategies to avoid the risks. So I prefer to choose emerging markets to be my cooperative partner.
Thank you. And this is our topic. Understanding emerging markets. And first, we will introduce these countries. We can see in the Brazil, Turkey, India, and China. And each of these countries have well-known companies. As we can see, Sadia is the largest food company, and Embraer is a Brazilian airline. And in Turkey, this is an alliances company, and is a manufacturer which produce light alliances, white goods, and so on. In India, it has Tata Tea and Rempasi, and China is Haier and Lenovo. Next, the new global challenges are benefits from emerging markets like this as follows. First, rapidly growing market. It means this company located in a large market. And second and third, it has a local labor and superior skills. Finally, complex operating environments that produce some of capable firms. Here is the three economic groups key concepts. Advanced economic means post-industrial countries, and it has high per capita income, like US, Japan. And developing economies, it means limited industrialization and have low income, like Nicaragua. And next is the emerging market is our discuss. So it means substantial industrialization, modernization, and economic growth, like Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Here is the three economic groups we discuss in the whole world. First is the American continent. We can see the advanced economies like Canada and the US. Next, in the Eurasia, we can see the emerging markets like China, India, and Russia, Saudi Arabia. And here are the key difference between among the three economic groups. First, we can see the developing economy. It accounts for the largest numbers of countries. And it has the lowest average per because of the lack of internet, so it had the low educational levels. Here are emerging market economics. It had as follows. We can see because the growing standard of living are promoted and it becomes attractive destinations for export, global sourcing, and FDI. And the emerging markets make these countries to beyond the world economic stage. Taiwan is also on the stage. And we can see this figure. We can see the FDI is account of one third of the world, and also the export numbers are also account more than 30%. And this figure shows that GDP growth rate. We can see the emerging markets are faster growing than the advanced economies for 7%. And the most we have discussed is China. China is the second largest economy in the world, just behind the U.S. And because it has 1.3 billion people, it has a huge population, and the growing economy also is a big importer. And the 250 million target consumer segment, it means China is a very big market. But because of the industrialization, China also is the 8th of the world's top 10 polluted cities. And more than 1 million people are thought to die because of the pollution-related causes. Let's turn to Vicky.
Emerging market appear many international business companies to be a target market and manufacturing and sourcing destination. And what makes it so attractive? First, as a target market, because the emerging markets, they have a very large middle class. The middle class with a significant income, they have ability to consumer products such as cars and healthy care. And the second reason is they show their high economic growth rate. And as a manufacturing base, emerging market, they appear many international companies to set a manufacturing facility and factory in this emerging market. And here are two reasons. Because they have natural resource and labor. And the labor is low wage and high quality. They good at manufacturing and assembly. And the natural resources is very large. I'll give you some example. The industrial diamond, the South Africa is a key source of industrial diamond. And next is minerals. Brazil contains extremely rich minerals. And the manufacturing parts. China is famous for this, and not only China but also Mexico. Next is semiconductor. We all know Taiwan has semiconductors, but not only Taiwan but also Malaysia. And next is labor. We all know India have many laborers. They are low quality, they are low wage but high quality. So appear many international company to invest in India. Next is location. And Thailand has become a good location for Japanese companies such as Sony and Sharp. Next is about as a resourcing destination. And outsourcing is the procurement of selective value chain activity, include production of intermediate goods or finished product, or independent suppliers. The definition is hard to be understood, but the sourcing is mean a company arrange their part of their work to outside people. And if the outside people is a foreigner, it could be the global sourcing. And because the outsourcing can let the company focus on their core business, so many international companies usually set a call center on other countries, such as if you speak English, you may receive a call from an Indian, and when we speak Chinese, you may receive a call from China. And not only Dell, Intel, but also Microsoft and IBM, they outsource their technology function and the programming activity to the India. And here are two beneficial for the company and also the local people. It makes the company more efficiency so they can focus on their core business. And the local people, they can receive a new job, and the international firm help the emerging market to connect to the world. And another, we all know the international company, they invest many factories on the emerging markets. But before make a decision, we all have considered it will be some potential or not. And here are two free indicators to help the company make a decision: per capita income, and size of the middle class, and market potential indicator. And when evaluating the potential of the individual market, we often start from the country data, like per capita GDP. But we all know the price in the emerging market always lower in advanced country. So it has to adjust the number. And the PPP then can estimate the real buying power more proper than per capita income. And the definition of PPP is an adjustment for price that reflect the amount of goods that consumer can buy in their country using their currency and consist with their own standard of living. But the definition is too hard to understand, and I'll give you this picture. And as you can see this plum, the number is after the per capita GDP. And you can see China, Mexico, and Russia, they are, before adjustment, they are overrated. And the PPP helps the company to make more proper decision. And next is the Big Mac Index. It's another way to know PPP conception. And it compares the price based on the real exchange rate. In order to judge the national countries is underrate or over undervalue. Just like a previous solution, China, Mexico, and Russia is undervalued here. Another index to help the company make decision is middle class. The middle class is a group of people between poor and wealthy, and they are a large potential in the advanced country. So they have independent economy, and they have work, so they have a consumer ability for education and electronics. And you can see China and India, their middle class proportion is very large, so they usually see the potential market. And another is several ways to help the company to evaluate the emerging market potential or not. One is growth rate and consumption capability, and the country risks and the commercial infrastructures. And let's see this picture. Let's see the overall index. China is the ranked the top one, and India only on ninth. It's probably because the country risk is lower than other countries. The country risk is unsafe in India, and in the market receptivity. In India, usually lower than other countries. Just like we all know, India, they don't eat beef. And next will come Canada.
Country risk has ongoing importance in the interdependent world. More analyses are set by various challenges when doing business in emerging markets. So I will introduce you 6 challenges as follows. 1. Political instability. And the absence of reliable and consistent governments by required governments from recognized government authorities and business costs increase risks and reduce managers' ability to forecast business conditions. And political instability is associated as corruption with legal frameworks. And he will discourage inward investment and the development of reliable business environments. Challenge 2. With intellectual property protection. Even when it exists, the laws that safeguard intellectual property may not be enforced, or the judicial processes are painfully slow. And the crash resource and the slow court procedure will hamper enforcement. So counterfeiting is common in China, Indonesia, and Russia, especially of smaller firms. In India, patent laws often discourage investment, and he will discourage producing or selling foods that entail valuable assets because of weak intellectual property protection. Challenge 3. Bureaucracy, red tape, and a lack of transparency. Burdensome administrative rules and excessive requirements for license approvals and business paper all delay business activity. And for example, in China, getting a loan is arduous, especially smaller firms. There are many government firms to complete, and he can take several months to register collateral with appropriate authorities. So many firms cannot obtain loans in timely manners, and he will delay business activity. While smaller business contributes 60% of China's GDP, but they account only 15% of outstanding loans. 4. Poor physical infrastructure. High quality roads, drainage systems, and sewers or electrical utilities are typically lacking in emerging markets. Also, the government is working to improve their infrastructure, and NES must build their own road and in their own infrastructure development to build their system and creative solution to support their value chain activity. For example, a subsidiary of Tata Chemical had to build their road and railway in Africa because to support first operation there. Challenge 5. Partner availability and qualification. First, must and should seek alliances with well-qualified companies. Through these partners, they can assess the market knowledge, establish suppliers and distributor network, and can develop key government contacts. However, partners in these countries are not readily available in emerging markets. And challenge 6. Dominance of family conglomerates. Family conglomerates is that highly diversified company that is privately owned. And FCS holds the largest market share in his own country. And the origins and the growth always derive from a special relationship with government. And the government always protect it by providing subsidies loans or tax incentives, or setting on the entry market barriers to its competitors. And the FCS also provides huge tax revenues and facilitates national economic development. So he can explain why government always protect it. And these are family conglomerates such as Samsung, LG, or Tatos, and so on. And next, I will introduce you 4 strategies that first employee to succeed in emerging market. 1. Customize offerings to unique emerging markets needs. Successful firms develop a deep understanding of distinctive characteristics of buyers and the local suppliers and the distribution channels in emerging market, and the customized offerings and the business models accordingly. And they also build constructive relationships with the communities where they operate, partly to understand the local market, local condition, and partly to build the customers' loyalty and respect. Second, partner with a family conglomerate. FCS made valuable enforcement partners, such as reduced risk, time, and capital requirements. Develop relationship with governments and other key players, and overcome infrastructure hurdles, and leverage FC resources and local context. Third, target governments. Government and the state enterprise are important for 3 reasons. 1. Government buy enormous quantities of products and services. Second, state enterprise operate in areas like oil, banking, buy goods and services from foreign companies. Third, the public sector influences the procurement activities of private corporations. Strategy 4. Skillfully challenges emerging market competitors. Key to success for advanced economic first are to 1. To research the market and the local competitors. Second, acquire new capabilities that improve the first competitive advantages. Third, incumbent firms can leverage low-cost labor and skilled workers in locations such as China, Mexico, or Eastern Europe. And the
next part is catering to emerging market economic development needs. Increasingly, firms are involved in fostering economic development in emerging markets. A city economic development may be part of efforts aimed at corporate social responsibility. More commonly, doing business in emerging markets can make good business sense and generate big profits. Helpful ventures include modernization projects such as power plants, infrastructure functions of capital such as microfinance. And finally is marketing consumer products, such as distribution channels, reduces prices, and creates jobs. And the next part, I will introduce foreign firms support local economic development. This part have 4 cases. The following firms are kind of marketing consumer products ventures. First case is through build distribution channels to help emerging countries. First case is Walmart and Home Depot. They have built new and cost-effective distribution channels in Mexico. And next is second and third cases through reduces prices. Second case is Unilever and P&G sell shampoo for less than 0.02 dollars per mini sachet in India. And third case is Cemex. Cemex provide low-cost building materials to millions of poor people in Spain. Okay, final case. The foreign firms are kind of infrastructure projects venture. This case is various cell phone and teleconference have substantially increased telecommunications infrastructure. Next part is ethical connections. Africa bears the burden of about 1/4 of all disease worldwide, yet has only 3% of the world's healthcare workers. Most Africans cannot get medical care. Every day, thousands die from preventable or treatable ailments, such as malaria and AIDS. Therefore, many organizations and ventures start to help Africa. Such as first is MNES. MNES play a growing role to address such challenges. And second is private firms. Private firms such as General Electric and GSK use innovative business approaches to provide needed medications and medical care to impoverished countries in Africa. And final is numerous firms. Numerous firms have established clinics that provide low-cost health care. Okay, final part is Q&A. We will list 6 items of resource. Please everyone to match it to represent countries. First is manufacturing cars. China. Yes.
And manufacturing costs also have another country. Did anyone want to answer?
German. India.
No.
Malaysia.
No.
Something.
Mexico.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Another answer is okay. It's China.
Next is industrial diamonds.
South
举手。对。Next is minerals. Locations. Thailand. Semiconductors. Final is flavors. Great. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, shall we take a 5 minutes break? Okay.
刚刚回答的同学可以
领奖。